Welcome to AFRIMEDIA Rwanda, your #1 source for breaking news, viral trends, and the latest global updates. From politics to entertainment, sports, technology, and business, we bring you the biggest stories shaping the world today. Stay ahead with real-time updates, exclusive insights, and in-depth analysis of the most talked-about events across the globe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed with unfiltered, factual, and up-to-date news. Turn on notifications so you never miss a breaking story. Today, Donald Trump blames Obama. Biden, DEI for DC plane crash. President Donald Trump criticized the administrations of Barack Obama and Joe Biden, as well as diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives within the Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) and the Department of Transportation, while speaking about the plane crash near Washington, D.C. on Thursday. "I changed Obama's regulations from very low standards, at best mediocre, to extraordinary," Trump said at a press conference. "They had to have the highest aptitude. They had to possess exceptional intelligence and psychological capability to qualify as air traffic controllers." His remarks are likely to spark controversy as they directly challenge former presidents. However, the Biden administration continues to face criticism on many fronts. Content in this news: the American Airlines Flight 5342, which had 60 passengers and 4 crew members, collided with a Black Hawk Army helicopter on Wednesday, marking the first major aviation accident in the United States since 2009. Diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) became a controversial topic in the Trump administration starting from January 20th, the day he was inaugurated as president. On his first day in office, Trump issued an executive order directing a halt to federal programs aimed at promoting DEI. These programs were intended to advance equality and help everyone have equal opportunities, especially for those in historically underrepresented groups or people facing challenges in society. Trump's executive order to stop DEI programs left many federal agencies confused, and they continue to look for ways to understand and implement these complex directives. However, it's worth noting that while Trump voiced his views on this, there were also areas where he didn't recognize certain rights, such as when he claimed that America is made up of only 2 genders, male and female, suggesting that those who change their gender were not acknowledged in the same way. This has sparked debates on the acceptance of transgender individuals and rights, especially when looking at his support base, such as strong backing from investors like Elon Musk, the wealthy business tycoon with major companies like Tesla, and his child who transitioned genders. This raises the question: how will this impact the future, especially considering Musk's influence and the continued growth of his business empire? The president, pointing to DEI for the helicopter issues, follows suit with how DEI initiatives, contracts, and websites have been ordered to be removed. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has also announced that more executive orders are on their way, including measures to remove DEI initiatives within the Pentagon. You have to know. It was Trump's first press conference after the plane crash near Washington, D.C. on Wednesday evening. The flight had taken off from Wichita, Kansas, and was approaching landing at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport when it collided with the helicopter. The helicopter was on a training flight with a crew of 3 based out of Fort Belvoir in Virginia. All 64 people were feared dead in what was likely to be the worst U.S. aviation disaster in almost a quarter century, officials said Thursday. The incident occurred shortly before 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, and the number of casualties is unclear as the search and rescue operation continues. The Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) confirmed that a CRJ-700 regional jet collided in mid-air with a Sikorsky H-60 helicopter while on approach to runway 33 at Reagan-Washington National Airport. Trump said at the press conference that he has some very strong opinions on why the crash occurred. He blamed the incident on a lack of competency of the people flying and the helicopter controllers. "I can't imagine that people with 20/20 vision can't see what's happening out there," Trump said. He said the American Airlines pilot was doing everything right, but for some reason, there was a helicopter at the same height as the plane, going in a different direction. That was really bad. Trump also questioned the helicopter pilot after the crash. Pete Buttigieg, the head of the U.S. Department of Transportation, expressed that Trump's remarks about the crash were wrong and despicable. "Let's hope that those who were injured and the families who lost loved ones will find justice and appropriate compensation." What people are saying. What people are saying. Trump said the plane kept going. It made a steady course, but there were too many problems. It shouldn't have been at the same altitude because if you weren't at the same height, you could have gone over or under it, he said. Trump stated that his standards are his truth about air transport management, which is at odds with Biden's policy. After calling the plane crash a tragedy of severe impact, Trump also appointed a new acting FAA administrator, Chris Rocheleau, a senior executive in the Aviation Business Association. Days before the plane and helicopter crash, Trump had fired TSA leaders and dissolved the Aviation Security Advisory Committee, saying it was part of a commitment to prioritize national security, eliminate the misuse of funds, and ensure DHS operations are efficient. "As one nation, we mourn for every precious soul lost so suddenly," Trump said. "Truly, we are in sorrow." This has shaken many people. People oppose Trump's remarks. Senator Gary Peters told MSNBC's Morning Joe that Trump's comments were irresponsible. "Frankly, I think it's utterly irresponsible to be putting out theories on what may have happened," Peters said. "Let's get to the facts, and the facts will come out fairly soon. We'll have to conduct a full investigation, which will take some time, but we must let that process take place." The Michigan Democrat added that the National Transportation Safety Board is a highly skilled group of professionals. "We need to stick to the facts and not allow conspiracy theories and other things to create fear or uncertainty," Peters said. Pete Buttigieg, former U.S. Secretary of Transportation, took to X, formerly Twitter, after Trump's press conference, calling Trump's statements despicable. "While families grieve, Trump should be leading, not lying. We prioritize safety, reduced close calls, improved air traffic control, and had 0 commercial airline crash fatalities during our watch," Buttigieg posted. President Trump now oversees the military and the FAA. One of his first acts was to fire and replace some of the key personnel who helped maintain the safety of our skies. It's time for the president to show actual leadership and explain what he will do to prevent this from happening again. Democracy Watch Canada posted on X. Trump goes on to blame Pete Buttigieg, making up stories about DEI and two white initiatives. Now he's confirming that the helicopter and plane were at the same altitude. Pray for the air traffic controller if they're black or brown or use a wheelchair. Insanity. Chuck Schumer, the Democratic Senate Minority Leader, also condemned Trump in a statement. "Listen, it's one thing for internet pundits to spread conspiracies, but it's another for the President of the United States to make idle speculation while bodies are still being recovered and families are still being notified. It just makes you sick," Schumer said. In the meantime, We are keeping the families and loved ones of the victims in our prayers, and we are praying for our brave first responders as well. Ayanna Pressley, a Democratic representative from Massachusetts, joined GBH News Boston Public Radio on Thursday when Trump suggested DEI could have been responsible for the plane and helicopter crash. When asked for her response, she called it shameful, deplorable, and disgusting, but nothing new. In a time of tragedy, when Trump should be a source of comfort and confidence for these grieving families and for the nation, this is what he does, Pressley said. More of the same. We'll have to match his energy. What people are saying. CEO of American Airlines, Robert Isom. In a video statement, "This is a difficult day for all of us at American Airlines, and our efforts now are focused entirely on meeting the needs of our passengers, crew members, partners, first responders, along with their families and loved ones. We understand and appreciate that people are eager for information. Please know that we will continue to share accurate and timely information as soon as we can, but everything we report must be accurate." Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, at the press conference, "We will have the best and brightest in every position." Sean Duffy, Secretary of Transportation, at the press conference, "We will not accept excuses. We will not accept passing the buck." What happens next? First responders continue to work around the crash site in the Potomac River. Trump said the investigation would continue. "We will ensure that nothing like this happens again," Trump said. That's it for today's top trending news from around the world. Stay informed, stay ahead. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to AFRIMEDIA RWANDA for the latest updates. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a story. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Which story shocked you the most? Let us know. Follow us for exclusive content and behind the scenes.